way bearded because I feel like I'm going to hyperventilate. I'm not going to exist for a time here. Okay. I'm so excited for this damn game. I'm so excited for this game. It is everything. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to place this here. Let's see if I can do this. Can I put this up higher? Yeah, okay. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Hope everyone's doing good. Okay. Are we ready? Oh, it's too loud. Way too loud. Okay. Okay. Why can't I click it?
Hello, everyone, and
Aww.
welcome to Gameplay First Look. I'm your host, Trisha Hirschberger, and I could not be more excited to walk you through the world of Palia. Now, today we are here with Singularity 6, developers of the game, and I know everyone is so excited because we've just recently announced that the beta is coming for Palia. This is the time, but today will be the first time that we are showing Palia gameplay to the world. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for being here. Absolutely. Let's meet our panelists. First up, we've got Palia's game director and creative lead, Aiden. Welcome to the stream.
Aiden!
Hey, it's just amazing to be here after all this time working on the game, to be at the point where we're finally ready to show something. Thank you for your patience. Really excited to be here today.
So excited, Aiden. Thank you for being here. Sitting next to Aiden, we've got the scribe behind Palia's lore, villager characters, and the game's evolving world story, Olivia. Olivia, thank you for being here today.
Thank you. I can't believe I'm actually sitting here in the Ormuz Horn Inn. The Ormuz Horn is a big hub for our villagers and players in the game, and it's just surreal to be here in person.
It is a very cool setting for sure. Also in the inn with
No,
us
it's a green
is
screen.
Maxwell, who keeps the team on track with Palia's development. Welcome, Maxwell.
Thanks, Trish. Really excited to show folks what we've got in store today.
Yes, it is going to be fantastic. And sitting just on the end of the inn tavern chair, here we've got Ambrielle, Palia's senior director of production, who makes your in-game characters look gorgeous. Welcome, Ambrielle.
Thank you so much. It's been really hard to wait all this time and not be able to say anything, so couldn't be more excited to start sharing with all of you today.
So since the excitement is so high today, in case you've missed it, let's go ahead and take a look at Palia's beta announced trailer.
Oh, it's really loud. Why is it so loud? It's so cute! You get a pet? Oh, to there. Oh, everything looks so good. Holy cute. Hello? Palia. This is an MMO, right? Right? This is an MMO. It's not that loud for you? Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. This is an MMO! Finally, a cute, cozy world. No fishing! No fishing. Wait! Oh, what? There's a lot of people. I needs it. I Eats it. It's Dreamlight Valheim. Oh, that's such a good way to put it. Wow.
This game looks so beautiful. Was that an in-house aquarium I saw at one point?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, so gorgeous. Well, we've got so much to dive into. Aiden, tell us about Palia.
Absolutely. Well, Palia at high level, it's a cozy community simulation MMO in which you get to be transported into this amazing, whimsical fantasy world, build the house of your dreams, develop relationships with all our unique cast of characters, and of course, most importantly, you get to do this with all your friends. It's a massively multiplayer game where all your friends can be a part of it.
Let's go!
I just can't wait. Now, for everyone who's watching right now,
Dream home.
we've got a lot to get into today. Today, we will be giving you an exclusive deep dive into the world of Palia. We'll be taking a first look at Palia's gameplay. We'll get into some of the lore and meet some of the villagers. We will dive into a quest and even check out multiplayer, and we'll be taking a look at the game's cosmetic items and art as well. So, like I said, tons to delve into. I am someone who is big into character creation. I saw in the beta announced trailer, trying on some different hairstyles, some different outfits. So if I'm just getting started in Palia, how do I make my character?
Absolutely. So this is actually the very first experience that you do in the game. You know, once you've logged in, and you can see we jump right into the lore right off the bat.
Yeah, eventually we're gonna learn what this swirly pink purple void is. So we're already in the story. We're actually, part of the story is that humans are coming back to the world of Palia for the first time in thousands of years. So creating your character is a big part of that, you know, like what kind of human do you want to be?
Yeah, I'm very impressed right now already with the amount of options that you have. We took a look at face shape. Now we're looking at various skin tones, different eye colors. And just as a personal question for me, when I created my character in Palia, I tended to make someone that looked a little bit like me, but with some extra pizzazz. Olivia, are you someone who creates a character that looks like yourself, or do you go as far from that as you can?
I try to make them look as close to myself as humanly possible. Like if a game doesn't have like copper long hair, I'm like, oh, I'm already turned off for this game. So I'm glad we have so many options, so many people can, you know, be able to find themselves in our character creator.
Absolutely. And Aiden, for you, do you design a character that looks like yourself, or do you generally go into what you'd like to be in a fantasy world?
You know what? I'm one of
Okay, why does Aiden look like Robert Pattinson's brother? Hello?
those players out there, and I know some of you out there are in this space as well, where I often make a kind of feminine character in when I play video games, and so I just love what options that we've been able to create there. Just so many awesome hairstyles to express, you know, a character just the way that you want.
And speaking of hairstyles, is this a secondary hair color that I see, or you can choose your primary and secondary, so you've got a two-tone going there, Olivia?
You can have a secondary, primary. Your eyebrows can be a different color. And to Aiden's point,
there's no beards.
He usually likes to create a more feminine character. Something that I think is really cool with our game is that whether you have a masculine or feminine body type, you can wear whatever clothes you want. So you can have a masculine body type and wear a dress and have a feminine voice. You can have a feminine body type and wear pants, which is normal nowadays. But it's really up to you how you want to customize your character.
So really, you have options. At the end of the day, limitless options.
No beards, though. No beards.
This is a living,
we need beards.
Absolutely. It's a live service game, and so that's one of the great things. You know, we're happy about the options that we're starting off with, but you know, this is day one from when the game first comes out. We're going to continue to add things into the future. So definitely as players, you know, let us know what we're missing. We're excited to keep expanding this world over time.
Excellent. And our character, Maddie Mush, I believe is what the name was there, is looking so cute. So after Maddie Mush is created, what comes next?
So we're going to jump right into our introduction cinematic. No small amount of drama for how you enter the world of Palia. So let's check that out.
Yeah, we love drama. So what are we looking at here?
These are some ancient human ruins. It's a place that our Majiri, which are our kind of purple-skinned elf-like race, what they call the Phoenix Shrine. I wonder how they got that name, given the statue. And this is an archaeologist. Her name is Gina. And she's exploring these ruins and has triggered
Look at her
a
cute little
magical event.
ears.
So as we can see, there's some magic brewing up there. There's this sphere coming from the heavens. I wonder what we'll see.
I mean, that sphere of light looks very familiar. Maybe
Yeah,
we saw it at the end of the character
Oh, look,
creator.
it's Mushy Maddie.
Oh my gosh,
Well,
it's you or me.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is your character opening their eyes for the first time.
And you were born.
Seeing this world, and a very surprised archaeologist looking at them.
Olivia, do we as the player know where we've come from? I mean, just the fact that we're kind of looking at our hands makes me think maybe this is a rebirth or an awakening of sorts.
Yeah, your character is a brand new person. So they somehow know how to speak, but other than that, they haven't really experienced anything before. So this new home is brand new in their eyes.
And I imagine our archaeologist, who is just kind of examining some ruins, is probably quite shocked at this point. Yes, Aiden?
Oh, absolutely. So while there are many humans entering the world of Palia across the
Are we
landscape,
guardians?
This is the first time Gina's
Did we die
seen
and get
someone
reds?
kind of come to
Oh
life
God,
right
are we
before her eyes.
zombies?
So you have that kind of special connection to Gina right up there.
That's pretty impressive. All right, now I see it looks like we're starting to run through another area. Is this kind of our first look as the character at the world of Palia?
Yeah, so this is where you're doing, getting adjusted to some of your basic movement. It looks like this player knows how to get their way around all right. But yeah, here's the big reveal as you go out into Kilima Valley itself.
Gorgeous. Look at that rainbow. Look at that mist. And I assume we will be able to explore everything we're looking at right now.
It is, absolutely. So, run down to that town. That's going to be the next step that we're going to go through here.
Okay, perfect. And does that town have a name, Olivia?
Yeah, it is called Kilima Village. So the root word is similar to Kilimanjaro. It kind of just helps you pronounce it there. But it's a small town. Used to be a bigger trade hub, but kind of has dried up. Sleepy little town. We've got 23 people living there. I think those small town vibes can be really cozy, which is a feeling that we want to evoke throughout the game, is coziness.
Oh, it definitely feels cozy, and it feels like a world that I personally would love
I
to
like the
explore
UI.
and to live in, and I'm sure everyone watching feels the same way. Now, is Maddie just extra curious in going to the village, or is there something that Maddie's trying to do right now?
So Gina has told Maddie that in order
It's
to
true, it's
kind of
very
get,
woken.
their housing plot to get themselves set up, they need to talk to Ashura, the innkeeper. Ashura is kind of like the dad of the village. He used to be a war hero, but since then has become a pacifist and opened up this inn. And when the humans started emerging, he just kind of naturally took it upon himself to help people get set up. The inn's really small and can't, house hundreds of humans, so he's getting them set up with a tent. And we're about to meet him just now.
Well, that's very kind of Ashura. I notice we're also walking past some other villagers. Maxwell, are you the type of player that when you first go into a game like Palia, you want to talk to all the villagers, or are you going right for the quest?
I do like to quickly chat and just get to know who I'm around, and then
Aww.
I beeline it straight for, all right, let's get this going.
How's your day going?
Yep. And Ashura has quite an interesting look to him. So, Ambrielle, I'm going to ask you to kind of weigh in on the character design of Ashura.
Oh yeah, I think Ashura's design is really awesome. It's cool to see. He's got these tattoos, he's got a dog tag around his neck, so you can really tell what his background was like. But he's got, the rolled up sleeves and the apron now. He's got a very soft expression. So
I love
yeah, you
him.
can see
He
where
has a
came
great
from, but
beard. We
also
need his
he's,
beard.
a nice father figure now, like Olivia said.
I love all the details of the character that you just see in the visual design. I think the art team has done, and the animation team has done a great job bringing all that stuff to life.
Yeah.
Really great.
So incredible, and so incredible of Ashura to welcome us as new players.
Right? He is
to
Purple
this
Daddy.
world. So I saw there, we took a look at a map really quickly, and then it took us to this new area. Is this just outside
Look
of
at the
village?
skybox.
Yeah, so we did do a quick fast forward there,
Okay.
so no teleporting through space in the game in quite that way. But this is your housing plot. So this is really going to be where you have so much creative control as a player.
This
where
is
you
so
eventually,
pretty.
start off with these kind of humble beginnings. It's overgrown, maybe not aspirational to start, but this is where so much of the creativity comes through, and you can build this into the place of your dreams.
Oh, I love that. And who are we talking to now, Olivia?
This is Hodari the miner. He's been working with Ashura to help get the housing plot set
Where's the
up.
lumberjack?
A nickname that our developers have for him is Hot Dari, if you can imagine why.
It's the jawline.
It's the jawline. But right now he's just teaching you how to use your axe and your pickaxe to help clear this plot of land to put down your tent.
Okay, wonderful. And then does he provide us with the axe and the pickaxe, or is that something we need to craft?
That's something he provides you with. So you're going to get the axe and the pickaxe you see on your tool wheel down there.
Oh, he gives it to us.
And then you're going to craft the tent.
Okay, and it looks like maybe we're clearing some space before we craft our tent. And for me, when I jump into a world like this, I'll clear just as much as I need to, but it looks like Maddie has cleared a whole plot. Aiden, what type of player are you? Clear the minimum or clear it all?
You start off with this space inside of the fence, and I always feel inclined to just kind of tidy up a little bit before I jump back into the quest, so I can really empathize with this player here. So
I get it. Olivia, do you clear the full plot, or are you going right for placing the tent?
I go right for the minimum. In fact, sometimes I'll build the tent and realize I don't have a place to place it, and so I have to go back and just clear a few things.
I don't know. What would I do? I think
trying to do less work than I would if I just cleared a bunch.
I think I'm a clearer. What are you
really
guys?
Cool what we're seeing here. So
I'm a clearer.
You just saw a glimpse of the grid, and so as soon as you take an item that can be placed, that enters you into a placement mode. Surprise, surprise. And you can rotate items, and eventually this will get much more robust. You can even hide the grid and place things precisely exactly where you want them.
Oh, I love that. I also loved the various rotation options. I mean, it's not just 90-degree angles. You can really get in there and make it fancy if you want to. So it looks like Maddie has made a workbench and has started crafting. And what is Maddie working on now?
So it's a storage chest, really important. You're going to be collecting a lot of different items in Palia.
300?
It's a good thing to make pretty early on. And
it fills up
as you're
fast.
collecting things, one of the really cool things we added pretty early on is you can actually use the crafter and craft materials straight out of your storage bin without having to pull them out yourself. So just a little quality of life feature to keep things kind of streamlined in the crafting experience.
You can
Lovely.
expand?
And I see a new interface that we're looking at right now. What is this point of view?
What is this?
So when you're customizing, there are two main views. You can do things in the 3D space, but for really large objects, it's really helpful to use that top-down view that you, by default, use the H key there, as you can see at the bottom of the screen.
Wonderful.
And that allows you to just kind of flip in and out. What's the best way to customize? You want to get a different look at things?
Wait, show me.
Trying to give you options.
And I love that you said for really large items, we are able to start Paleo with a pretty large tent.
It's kind of surprisingly large, isn't it? You're like, oh, I think I could actually put stuff up in here. Wanted to give you some space where you can actually, make it your own.
Yeah, well, that's very generous that we get to start off with that. So thank you, Ashura and Hodari, for setting us off on a good first footing.
It's more like glamping than camping,
It is.
Yes.
It is definitely glamping. Okay, so that was awesome to take a look at. After this, can we go back into Kilima Village and take a tour? I know we saw a little bit of it when we first went through to meet Ashura, but let's really take a deep dive into Kilima Village. Let's see what we've got.
Okay, so after you're done with the tutorial, you're able to just kind of jump right back into the action, and you're able to choose from a variety of different activities. You can go and you can meet all the villagers, or you can start with our skills gameplay. I think this player may be about to talk to Ani, who's our delivery boy.
Ani?
He's very
That's
high
such a cute
energy,
name.
very excited. That the humans are back as the most exciting thing to ever happen to him, because he's just this little boy who lives in a small town and dreams of doing big things. Now it looks like we're going back over to the inn. Reth is the cook who works at the inn, and you can buy food from him. You can also go over and chat with him. He is one of our romanceable characters.
Romance.
Excuse me?
If you're interested in dating him.
Excuse
I saw
me?
some meme that was like, all like women secretly just want a line cook, fairy prince, or something else. And I was like, line cook covered.
Honestly, Olivia, there's so many interesting characters that we've seen already.
We're falling in love tonight with the cook.
If they're romanceable, so thank you. Thank you for answering that question that I'm sure is burning within a lot of us.
Yeah.
But yes, dating a cook, I think, is a lot of folks' dreams. So what else are we seeing here in Kill in the Village?
Oh, Aiden.
Oh no, it's hard to keep up. I mean, we're running by all these activities, and you know, one of the really awesome things about Palia is, you know, while we have main quest lines that you can be chasing after, it's also one of those games where, you know, game puts the main story in front of you and half the players just go left and keep running that way. And, you know, really the choice is up to you. We really wanted to make a game that you could play the way that you wanted to play.
the butterfly.
But of course, skills are a big part of that, no matter where you go. And so it looks like we're doing a little insect catching here to get started.
Insect catching, very nice. Now, would we be catching insects because they have a worth in this world, or are we using it as a crafting component, maybe?
You know, we get into a little of each there.
Okay.
But definitely they're valued by
it has
some
stars.
people out in the world
There's a
of Palia, and there are, of course, more common ones, more rare ones, so you're going to have to search high and low across different times of day to really try and find and complete a collection.
Awesome. So bug catching is definitely something we can do in this world. I kind of saw there your
We're going to have a
menu
bug
for
catching
switching back and
party.
forth. Is that between different skills?
Absolutely. So that wheel allows you to really quickly just switch what equipment you have on. You'll find very frequently in Palia, you might start with a particular mission that you leave your housing plot to go out and do, but then you end up doing...
Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. Watts, thank you so much for raid. We are watching the Palia, which is a new MMO that's coming out very soon. And they had like a cool first look. So we're watching that, and then we're hopping into some Mass Effect. So if you want to come watch some Mass Effect, we're watching a little bit of Mass Effect and playing a little bit of Mass Effect. I'm very excited. Listen, we're getting into the space.
So many
we're getting into the romance.
That just pop up all around
it's
you.
happening.
So
How was
really
your stream?
A way for the players to kind of hot switch between
I hope it was
those various
amazing.
activities as you go, as different opportunities kind of present themselves.
As the player that gets distracted by every single shiny,
make sure you go follow Watts.
Immensely.
She's the best.
All right, Olivia, where are we headed next? It looks like we might maybe do some fishing.
Yeah, we're at the docks.
Oh, no.
We passed by my favorite NPC to write, which is Einar the Fishing Golder. And we'll learn a little bit more about him later. But right now we're just engaging in our fishing minigame, which is
glad.
super fun, super relaxing. I think
Yay.
it feels a lot like fishing. And it's not as frustratingly hard as some fishing mini games are. Although, if you're trying to get the chase fish, it can get a little bit difficult. But you're just kind of trying to line that little parenthesis up with the fish.
We call it the safe zone internally.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, that's one of those things. I'm like, the player base will think of a name, and no matter what we call it, it'll stick whatever they decide it is. So.
I'm a writer, so
True.
it's a parenthesis.
There we go.
It makes total sense. But Olivia, you said the fishing game is kind of a nice balance.
It's kind of like a Destiny MMO, but cozy.
Challenging, but there is some difficulty scale there.
Yeah, you know, we're really going for that easy to learn, difficult to master kind of vibe. Yeah, it's all of the fish, like if you're just trying to kind of complete your fish collection, are pretty easy to get, but once you get into the star quality fish, which are the ones you can display in your housing plot, those get a little bit harder to catch.
I see. So we have different difficulty levels of fish. It's all making sense now. I love a good fishing mini game, so I've got lots of questions there, but we'll move on. It looks like Maddie is running around outside, maybe doing a little bit more insect catching. Are there other things we can... Oh, I see a shiny. There we go. I just answered my own question. What are we collecting at this point?
This is a Sundrop Lily, which is one of our forageables that can be used for crafting furniture. Like if you want to dye something, that pretty orange color. It can also be used as a gift for villagers.
Oh, all right. Again,
you can give gifts.
Gifting villagers is a way to maybe gain favor with them, but I'll
and
put a pin in the
take them
romance discussion
home.
for now. We'll get to that a little bit more later. But I see that Maddie is collecting quite a few things at the bottom. Can you kind of talk to me a little bit about the interface that we're looking at there in the lower right-hand corner?
Yeah, so that's your inventory. Basically, at any given time, you can actually customize the number of action bars you have down at the bottom and flip between them as you want. But this is kind of like the hot selection options that you have. So, if you need to eat something, which you can see our bar at the top for kind of keeping track of, what your focus bar is. And otherwise, it's just a way to keep track of what you have and if your inventory is starting to get too full.
Okay, perfect. And I see here in this player menu, we're looking at
Wait. Okay, we've got skill, tools, accessories, tabby tabs, a store. Interesting.
skill levels. We've got our tools. We've got some of those
she's
items
literally
there. What
just
should players
okay.
be
We're on it.
really paying attention to when they look at that menu?
So one of the big
feel
things
called
on the
out.
bottom left is you can see all your skills.
Called out.
Each of those have their own level associated with them. And particularly in the early game, every time that you're leveling one of those, you're going to want to go back to the skill master associated with that skill because they're going to have some cool rewards, new gameplay, new content for you to access as you progress through there.
There's going to be skills.
Excellent. Yeah, there's a lot to look at there, but I'm sure it will become commonplace the more time we get to spend in Palia. So it looks like Maddie is kind of splitting her time between a couple different activities. And do you recommend that folks kind of jack of all trades it in terms of skills or really specialize in one specific skill and then, perhaps trade or use that to their advantage? Olivia?
I think that you can really play either way. I tend to do a little bit of everything because for some reason it feels like cheating to not actually get the things that I was supposed to use in a crafting recipe or for a quest. But you can also just specialize in one thing and then trade that stuff for gold, or you can ask other players for things. There's tons of different ways to play.
And I imagine that we have various quests that kind of walk us through.
I wonder if we can make a
familiarizing ourselves
base
with these various skills.
Correct. We have a bunch of different NPCs are like heads of our guild. So Einar's head of the fishing guild,
Nice.
Ani's head of the bug catching guild, and we have quests with those characters to help you learn those skills.
Perfect. So once we've gotten all our skill levels up, how do we go in and build the house of our dreams? Let's see.
So you can see we've kind of fast forwarded in time again here a bit, and we've got a reasonably progressed house, something aspirational. We've definitely moved beyond the tent phase here. And again, we're kind of jumping between those different housing customization views in order to build things out just the way we want. In this case, the player is looking at the kind of attachment points between their buildings and the walls on the outside, which allow you to, if on the inside, do you want there to be no wall between the rooms? Do you want there to be a small door, like a double door? And this is something that you'll also unlock more options for over time. Same thing with the windows on the outside. You can go no windows all the way up to, really nice customized big things.
Did we just put an addition on our house?
What?
Absolutely. So that's also one of the big things you're seeing. Again, mentioned that this is kind of an early game. You can have a mansion if that's where you want to take this experience to, add a bunch of additions to it. But yeah, as you add those, acquire new rooms within the city hall, you have to build those and go through some of the craft time associated with it. It's also a nice thing to have your friend come out and help you get through.
Now, when you mention craft time, is that in-game time? Is that real-world time? How does that work?
So for the buildings, once you've gotten the materials there is a real-world craft time associated with it. Generally, there's a little bit of time associated with bigger things in the world.
Excellent. And I saw we just kind of added this whole addition to our home. But if you wanted to get really granular and do it, just by doing the walls yourself and really get in there and customize, that's an option too, correct?
Right, so you can kind of change the connections between them. You can also customize the wallpaper.
Oh my
the
gosh,
flooring,
I cannot see what people come up with.
Decor, interior customization, that's something that is really rich in Palia.
Hi, Meg.
We have hundreds of items for you to find, and you can really put them throughout your house just the way you want to.
I wish that in real life you could add an addition to your house this quickly. It's like 4 hours, like that'd be great.
Just some wood and some stone. Man, I'll do that any day.
Yeah, it took me months to just convert my garage, so.
Wood and stone in 4 hours. Perfect. I agree. That would be lovely. All right, it looks like Maddie is going inside so we can see some of these interiors that you were talking about and some of these interior options. Which interior options are we looking at right now? Can you kind of walk us through some of the things that we're seeing?
I love the archway.
So this player
Oh,
is
there's a bay
pretty
window.
advanced, pretty far into the game. So they have some of our like more chase furniture items. Ambriel, maybe you could talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. Over time, you can, like Aiden mentioned, collect hundreds of different decor and furniture items. So yeah, this player has gotten some pretty rare stuff. So they're probably investing a lot in this crafting system, learning to make some pretty high-tier recipes, and maybe spending a little time at the underground market picking up some super rare stuff.
Yeah, we'll get into the underground in a bit, but magic is a bit taboo in this world. So if you want magic items or you want some kind of, more expensive art that might have fallen off a truck, we have a cool underground market.
Ooh, I love that whole thing exists in this world. Like you said, we'll have to get more into that a little later. But I also love that Maddie is able to craft furniture items, it looks like right now. And that's a skill in and of itself. So it's not just a currency-based type of thing to get furniture. You gather the resources or trade for them, and then you craft your own furniture. That's really cool. So what is Maddie making right now?
So the Choppa is one of been the most popular characters as we've been developing the game. And so of course there are a ton of Choppa themed items, wallpapers, all sorts of things that you can find in that theme. And of course then you can use those to customize your house just the way that you want.
How beautiful. And again, look at these placement options. So Olivia, kind of walk us through, once you've created something, what is the process to then place it in the world?
It's pretty straightforward. You can either have the in-world view, like what you're seeing now, where you just click on the item and you can move it along to select on the grid.
You're never logging
or you can
out.
actually place anything in that top-down view, which sometimes like
Did they say
really
PC and Switch?
Piece, like
What platform is
I kind
this?
of prefer to do in the top-down view.
Totally.
Cool. And this house looks so beautiful.
Oh,
I feel like
please
Maddie,
work on the
is making
Steam
this house
Deck.
gorgeous for herself, but also maybe wants to have friends over and entertain.
Aww.
How does that work as far as if you wanted friends to come over your house?
PC and
or
Switch.
maybe there are friends that you don't want to come over your house?
So permissions are a huge deal. If you remember that top-down view, there's
not
a
on
pull-down
Steam,
menu at the top there
what?
where you can set permissions on a per-player basis. And so by default, a visitor just has a small number of activities that they can do with you on the plot, but you can upgrade them to editor status, which allows them to do things like move things around in your space, so that you can really kind of share in this customization and home experience together. It's also one other really important part here is, while you might spend a ton of time making this particular housing plot just perfect, you might have other people that maybe you have a totally different vision, a totally different fantasy that you want to chase together. And so we actually have the option where you can have multiple housing plots and set different permissions for other players on each of them. So a lot of control for the kind of like social access and experience that you're having with other players in the game.
Oh, that's so cool.
There's no like PvP where someone can come destroy my home.
None of marketplace. Yeah. That's smart.
You're giving
especially since they're going to be service and it's going to be a service game.
It is something you want to give to somebody that you trust and you want to have that kind of shared experience with. But there's no way that they can come in and destroy items of yours. There's not a lot of destruction happening in Palia.
Okay, great. We're keeping it cozy and friendly.
Absolutely, cozy vibes going throughout everywhere.
Okay, perfect. Getting this hanging plant exactly where Maddie wants it here so that the entryway looks perfect. I am here for it. Now, you had mentioned, Aiden, having multiple plots. Is there a limit to that at this moment?
It's definitely more than 2.
So that's really cool. So you can really have that communal aspect.
You can have so many places.
Townal plots, if you will, of sorts. That's
like
Mas Casa.
Townal plots. There it is. I also, in games like this, really enjoy gardening, and I think a lot of folks watching can probably relate to that. So what do we have in terms of gardening? Olivia, walk us through what we're seeing just now.
You're placing another gardening plot, and then you get the hoe that allows you to till. I like how therapeutic this feels. It's very tactile. After that, you can plant your seeds. Maddie has a good variety of seeds. She's got tomatoes, she's got onions, she's got carrots.
It's cool so cool. It's like a paintbrush.
Is you actually can get buffs from the tomatoes being next to the carrots. So if you're a min-maxer, you can do that. or if you just like the look of like one particular crop, you can do that. There's a lot of freedom in our gardening system, which I really like.
All right, I want to hear more about min-maxing the garden. When it comes to, are these things we have to self-discover in the game, or do we get clues throughout Palia about where to position your crops to get these bonuses?
I think Maxwell might do a good job of answering that.
Yeah, we try to make sure players are able to discover this themselves and expose that information. It's not hidden to you. And so we see the examine key there. Like if you press, again, default G, you'll be able to see the buffs that are being shared, as well as if you look at the seeds in your inventory, it'll give you a little hint about what to expect if you plant it next to a different crop. So,
Oh, that's so
great.
smart.
And I see the bars as we're planting seeds. I saw the bars above that. What is that showing us?
that's the watering. So here we go. Maddie's going to get some water in her watering can, and then
This is Snack's least favorite thing to do.
Are well watered and ready to grow.
Well taken care of. The seeds will not grow if the soil is not watered. This is perfect. So is this done one square at a time? Is there a way to kind of water multiple, or is that getting into spoiler territory and we shouldn't talk about that today?
I think we could talk about it. Yeah, starting out, we're going to give you some simple tools to get you going. But as you engage in the various skills, eventually you'll be able to
It's not fishing.
craft
Right.
higher tier.
It's not fishing.
So,
See, I'll
you'll get a better
water,
watering can
and then
that
she
will
can go
have maybe a
fish,
wider,
and
cone
then
to water
Devons
crops.
can do
Make it a little bit easier because you'll also get more
cooking.
soil plots, so you'll have a lot more.
Maybe
plants to,
Devons wants to
take care of at some
go
point.
chop
Level
down
up.
trees
Yep,
with
level up.
Formal.
Level it up.
Bearded's
Now, I
going
see
to
we're
build the
harvesting. When
mansion.
we harvest, do we have to start again from the seed phase?
Kmart's
Do we get
back.
seeds as we harvest? How does that work, Aiden?
Yeah, it's definitely something that typically you'll start again, so you have to put seeds down. You can get seeds
There's a
from a variety of sources in the
bridge.
game. Buying them at the
There's a
store is kind of like the default
bridge.
basic. But we also have different kinds of seeds, like our tomato plants. You see we just harvested those, and they're going to regrow again. So you actually don't have to go back to the starting phase until you've done several harvests on a tomato plant.
This
Hi.
is where the min-maxers have spent a lot of time trying to spreadsheet out their plots to figure out how they can maximize kind of their earnings over a period of time.
It was really cool in the alpha to see players making these grids of how they were min-maxing the various spaces and kind of sharing that information. There was like a whole template that got developed for people thinking about this. And of course, this is a live service game, so it's going to continue to evolve. So expect us to shuffle up that meta from time to time.
Yep.
And I love how much you guys, saying y'all as Singularity
IKEA.
6, really do listen to the community.
We have to make an
and take that player
IKEA
feedback.
grocery
when you
store.
get grids and stuff like that. When you see players sharing those kind of things in the alpha, do any of those things ever make it into the game?
Oh, absolutely. It would be hard to understate the impact of the alpha phase that we've been in. We've done multiple external playtests through that, gotten so much great feedback, ideas. It's something that we pay a ton of attention to. So I really just wanted to say for a moment, thank you for everyone who has playtested and helped improve Palia over time. And for those of you who haven't gotten to be a part of it yet, we've just been developing this arm and getting adjusted to having players be part of the experience. And this is something that's going to continue as we go into the beta phase.
That's awesome. Thank you, everyone. Ambrielle, because we didn't get your input on gardening, is there a favorite crop that you like to grow the most?
Oh, I mean, we talked about how you don't have to replant tomatoes, and that's really nice. I think you've got to have a good variety to do a little bit of the min-maxing. It's fun because if you want your garden to be super aesthetic, you can plant whatever you want and you're not going to get any downsides. There's no harm in just planting all tomatoes if you think that looks beautiful. But yeah, mixing and matching them gives you some fun bonuses.
Perfect. So whether you're going for beauty or min-maxing or a little bit of both, you'll be all set. All right, we touched on some of the villagers that live in Kilima Village, and I'd love to do a bit of more of an in-depth look at those villagers if we could. So let's walk through some of the villagers that we will meet in Kilima Village. Olivia, describe who we're talking to right now.
Who is this?
This is Zeki. He is a Grimulkin. The Grimulkins are cats from outer space. They're like libertarian space pirates. And they run, in addition to the regular store, Zeki also runs the Kilima branch of the Grimulkin Underground. And that's where you can get cool magical items, maybe some more high-tech stuff, because remember they are from space. So if you want some technology something that would usually be available in like a small village, you can get that from the underground as well. But he's like one of my favorite characters to write. I love his animations. I love his sense of humor.
And Olivia, as our lore expert here on the panel, can you tell us again why some items might be more underground than others?
So I think I mentioned earlier, magic in Palia is a bit taboo. They grew up in the shadows of this human civilization that crumbled, and they were, a highly magical civilization, and so they have interpreted this as magic is dangerous. Okay. And so it's very regulated, and Zeki is against regulations, so whatever. It looks like we've gone to the city hall. This is Kenyatta. She's the daughter of the mayor, and she's she's kind of a rebellious teenager. She's been given this job as a way to like learn responsibility, but she's like pretty bored. She does not want to be working here. But the player coming and talking to her is like a good break in her day. So she always is welcoming the players when they come by City Hall.
Now, is Kenyatta also a romanceable option? I have to ask. Her style is so cool.
She is, and she has a very fun romance plot. We were very excited to write her romance.
I love it. And you said she exists in the world as the mayor's daughter?
Yes, she is the daughter of the mayor, who's like this kind of bumbling politician character, and the magistrate, who's his more like strict, sort of like upper crust, like Victorian aristocracy wife.
She knows how to get things done.
You know, she's great. I love it.
I love that. Well, Ambrielle, I'm going to pick your brain on Kenyatta's look in just a bit later on in the stream because her style is so cool. And now we're looking at Olivia, who I said you had said earlier might be one of your favorite characters. Yes?
Yeah, Einar is a Galder. Galders are basically robots made by the ancient humans, but they've been kind of hanging around Palia for thousands of years. And they were all programmed with something called the oneness, and that's like the one thing in the world that makes them happy. So Einar loves to fish. We have another Galder who loves to like take care of people. She used to be a nanny back in the day, so she's very caring, very loving. And we have a lot of fun.
That's so cute.
So the Galder follow their programming very closely, even though they were programmed thousands of years prior.
It has become a little bit disconnected. So like if there was a Galder who wanted
but cozy
to build houses, now they might say like stack rocks by the beach and watch them fall, because the oneness is in the act of doing the thing. It's not in the results. So I think that it's like a cool way to kind of talk about like, you know, that one thing that you really love and how that can evolve over time.
I love that. So it's like they're programmed with a passion,
yes,
but not with an end goal.
Exactly.
Literal space magic.
We're going to see some really fun ways that the lore will play with this kind of concept over time. So it's interesting.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite things that like the writing team has had fun playing with and like taking it into a bunch of different directions.
That's awesome. Okay, so I asked if we had different romanceable villagers that we can speak to in Killing a Village, and let's really get into this. How can I be friends with the folks I meet in Palia?
There are several ways to kind of gain friendship points. This is our friendship tracker. So you can see that Maddie is friendship level 2
Wait, who's Chang?
with Ashura right now.
Oh, there's cool guys.
There's several ways of getting to know them.
Look at Jill. There's a guy with a monocle.
Every Alien Day, which resets every hour. You can also give them gifts once every real world day. And they have these special gifts that they like called weekly wants. Those you can discover through talking to the villagers what they want that week, or you can even talk to their friends. So if you're talking to Gina, she might tell you what her best friend Hecla wants that week. And once you learn it, it'll show up on the weekly want UI, and then you can give that to them for extra points.
That's really cool that you can get to know their friends. It makes it feel like a living, breathing society that you're a part of. That's awesome. Ambrielle, question for you. When you play games like Palia, or when you're playing Palia, do you like to focus on friendship and society first and foremost, or do you like to focus on your gardening and your home plot like we've seen earlier?
Yeah, I think in games and in life, I'm more of an introvert. And so I'm usually focused a little bit more on skills, a little bit more on building my house. But like Olivia, my first priority is becoming best friends with Einar. And after that, mostly focused on the house.
This isn't too much of a spoiler because you learned it early on, but Einar will always accept shiny pebbles.
Yes.
And you can find those through the various types of skill gameplay.
I'm pretty much always holding at least one just in case the timer's up.
So I have to ask, is every villager we meet has their own friendship meter? Are they all romanceable?
They're not all romanceable. They're all friendable. So we wanted the main way that you get to know characters to actually be through their friendship, because you can have like really great relationships with people that you're not romantically involved with.
Sure,
right?
Of course.
So like their main story is their friendship, but certain characters also have a separate romance meter you can unlock. Once you're close enough friends with them, you can give them a romantic gift and enter in that romance, and that unlocks a new story.
And you can always see that on the UI, which ones have the romance option that you can unlock. So if you want to check, definitely an easy spot to go for.
And there may be some characters who are not romanceable yet that could be in the future. So it's always something we're adding.
And if you want to unlock all the quests, I like to tick off all the boxes. Is it possible to romance more than one character within Palia?
Yes. So at the state of the game we're in right now, again, like we're a living, breathing world, kind of like as far into a romantic relationship you can get is kind of like the early courting stage. So you're allowed to romance as many people in that stage as you want. At the end of their romance plotline, they'll give you something called a pin, which means they really like you. And then you can wear that pin and people will comment on, oh, you're dating so-and-so. That's awesome. And you can equip up to 2 pins.
That is the cutest thing I've ever heard, and I am here
A
for
pin?
it. All right, so as I said, I love to go on quests, whether they're romanceable quests, non-romanceable quests. So let's go
Claimed.
ahead and go
Claim
on a quest
me.
and see what that looks like. So for Maxwell, describe to us where we're going right now and what we're about to see.
Yeah, so we're jumping into a quest a little bit into the game now where the player, as they've been exploring kind of these ancient ruins, has come upon a bit of a barrier for themselves. And they've been directed to find Najuma, who, Olivia, if you want to give a quick intro for Najuma.
Yeah, Najuma is the miner's daughter, so Hodari's daughter. She is kind of a shy teenager, and she's an inventor. But a lot of her inventions are kind of dangerous, so her dad doesn't really like her doing that kind of stuff. But one of the things she's invented is a glider. And Gina knows about this glider, the archaeologist, so she has told you to hunt down Najuma to build a glider so that you can kind of explore those ruins further.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have to make this glider, we're going to have to go do a little bit of gameplay and find some materials.
Okay, perfect. And is there a reason that Najuma is the one who is like the keeper of the glider, if you will?
It's just because it was her invention.
Got it.
So
Cool.
that's the way, she's the only one who knows how to make them.
I see, but soon we will learn how to make them. So Maddie is now gathering the resources, yes, and we'll gather the resources needed, and then where do we go from there, Maxwell?
Yeah, so looks like we're gonna do it the hard way and manually go through, chop some trees. We need to get some leather, so that means we're gonna have to do a little bit of hunting. And then lastly, get some fabric, which we can grow cotton at the home plot. So we're collecting everything we can here, and I think once we get that, we'll be able to go back and use some of our auto crafters on the home plot to make the final pieces required. So.
Now, when you said Maddie's doing this the hard way, that leads me to believe that you would play this differently?
Yeah, I hate growing cotton myself, so I tend to just buy it from Tish's shop and jump straight ahead and make this quest a little easier on myself.
Got it. And you buy
That's
it from the
handy.
shop because you're trading it, or how does that work?
Yeah, so a number of our NPCs or villagers run shops, and we try to make sure that players always have an option available to them if they don't want to engage in a particular system. So in this case, you know, I don't really like to make the fabric myself, so I'll go to her shop and just get it myself.
Play the way you want to play.
Play the way you want to play.
I love that. Well, I mean, that's the thing. With a game that you're going to exist in for tens, potentially hundreds of hours, having the option to play the way you want to play is really important.
Absolutely. It's been a core part that we tried to build into Palia kind of throughout the experience the whole time. So, and also the alphas really helped us kind of tune in parts of that just, you know, to the right balance.
Excellent. And I see it looks like we're really putting together this glider piece by piece. Olivia, how do we make a glider?
What is that?
It's not a spoiler.
It's not. Right now you're making wood planks with our auto crafter system. Maxwell can probably tell you a little bit more about how the auto crafters work, but you're going to be making fabric and planks and like and leather and all the ingredients.
Look, they're moving.
Yeah, and so the player over time will acquire a number of auto crafters in various skills.
I'll need 3 husbands,
them,
thanks.
Refine the raw materials they collect out in the world and turn it into, you know, higher tier objects that they can, you know, make furniture with. Or we saw earlier, like adding that addition to the house, which requires you to get the planks created.
Yeah, that's a lot of resources, I would imagine. So we've got a bunch of things going at the same time here. Do we finally have everything we need to make this glider, or we have a couple steps left?
I think we just have to get all the items back to Najuma so that she can put it together.
Yeah, it looks like we skipped ahead here. All the auto crafters work on a real-time system, so there is a little bit of time once you put your stuff in there that you'll have to wait. But
you know what? I like that because there's so much to do in Palia that if I have to wait 5 minutes for leather, then that means I can go out and catch some insects or do some hunting or, you know, put some time into another skill that I may not have had the time to invest in before. So I feel like it's really encouraging a really mixed gameplay experience, yes?
Yeah, it's also a great opportunity if you maybe want to take a break at a time. You can load up your auto crafters, take the break, come back, and things will be ready for you.
I mean, bio breaks, come on. Who needs that? Who needs that? All right, we're back to Najuma
No breaks.
now. We've got all the supplies. So now Najuma is going to assemble this for us. You said this isn't something we need to craft on the workbench?
Yeah, so the things that you craft in the workbench are things that you can craft an infinite number of times. The glider you only craft once, so Najuma does it for you.
That's awesome. All right, now you talk about maybe fishing or playing together. I certainly want to play with my friends in multiplayer. Can we talk about how multiplayer works within Palia? Ambriel.
Yeah, there's tons of things that you can do in Palia with your friends.
Okay, here we go.
Most of them are better for it. All of the skills that we looked at previously have some bonuses for buddying up like we're seeing here.
Friends!
Okay, so we're buddying up and doing it together. And do we share the resources that we're gathering here? Is there a shared loot system? How does that work?
Yeah, so anytime you're playing with friends or even just random folks in the world, as long as you participate in the activity, we want to make sure everyone gets the same kind of rewards. So we've got 2 players here that are chopping the tree. Both of them receive a loot pile that they can pick up and acquire. And that holds true across all of our various skills. So we really want to make sure players don't feel like they are kind of taking away from another player and allow them to join up.
Great, that makes sense. And I think I'm seeing, now that Taylor and Maddie are teamed up here, they're chopping down these trees twice as fast. So is there a world where I could get 5 or 6 friends together to really just go through a whole area and we're all getting the loot? So it's just like a great way to get lots of loot.
Definitely possible.
Okay.
Some of our players have do what they call deforestation efforts on sides of the map, where they'll group together and try to clear out a zone. We also have a couple opportunities where we really want you to join with some friends. So you may see certain trees out in the wilderness that you're going to need to partner up to really take out.
Oh, wow. Like just like a really massive tree.
Massive tree, or maybe something a little magical.
Oh, I love it. Okay, no more spoilers. I'll be quiet.
Thank you so much for the 88 months, Fire. Welcome on back.
Is there more to fishing together than just having really great conversations, or is it, you know, kind
we're
of like
watching the Palia first look, and it is wild.
So as long as you fish near another player, you actually both start to receive a little bit of a buff while playing. We also have an option where, and I love doing this, but
my
if
life
someone's
purpose
struggling with a fishing mini game and you're able to walk up to them, you can give them a little bit of encouragement to help save them in that moment and help them catch that fish. And it's a really great, like, lovable
You can
moment,
encourage people?
Can multiple people offer fishing encouragement to one player?
Yep, you can all join in and try to, you know, cheer them on.
Oh my gosh!
All right, I feel like next time I'm in Palia, I want to get a bunch of friends
Thank you
together
so
and
much for the brand new sub. Welcome to the Mavicorns. You're super duper majestic. I love your face.
Maybe the way I'm going to play it moving forward. Ambrielle, have you had any experience with the cheering?
I can just cheer you on.
Oh yeah, especially like we've been talking about, the minigame is a little tricky to get the hang of because it's not super simple. And once you get in there, it's definitely approachable. But yeah, some of those more rare fish, the ones with stars, they're pretty hard to catch. And so it's always great to run by, cheer for your friends. Even more fun when you don't know the players to just run by and
I can hype you up. I'll be a cheerleader.
I always go and clap someone whenever I see them catch a fish. I'll just run up and clap and then walk away.
Just a little random act of kindness
My time
to bring
is now.
positivity to someone's day.
Absolutely.
My time is now.
I mean, at least with gathering so far, with fishing and the things we've seen,
oh, thank you so much for being here.
That, Palia can
That's so
be
nice.
even better with friends, if you will. It's fun. It's fun single player, but when you pair up with friends, you're
a macro.
You're getting more rewards faster.
Oh my
you're getting
God.
positivity in fishing. Is it safe to say that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's been one of our core philosophies in designing any of the skills. Is that, you know,
what is
we want you
that?
to be able to do things by yourself, but we really want to make sure it's better when you engage with.
Oh, it's a
players.
farty thing.
And, you know,
oh,
an example
catch
here
them
that
all,
we're seeing,
Pokemon.
This is the honey lure, which is a later stage item in the game for our insect catching.
Oh,
skill.
it attracts the bugs.
It's open to anyone to come in, and so players that acquire these and craft them, they usually like to call out in the servers of like, "Hey, I've got a honey lure. Anyone want to join up and we'll catch some insects?"
Honey
and so
lure.
anyone can come in and start to, you know, jump into this party where you can see in the screen there's tons of insects just showing up now, and they can also combo if, you know, one of the rare insects show up here and try to catch it together. So.
And how would you combo to catch an insect?
Yeah, so as long as you try to throw your smoke bomb at one of the insects with your friend, you'll be considered as participating in that, and we'll reward you on it. And each time a player adds their smoke bomb to it, we give a little bit of an extra chance to catch the insect.
We also just have different smoke bomb types. So you might just have a basic one, and you might have a special one that has some sort of effect on the bug that makes it easier to catch.
Yes.
Okay, so pairing up with friends who have special smoke bombs is the pro tip I'm hearing right now. And now we're moving into hunting together. Ambrielle, what would be the benefit of hunting together?
Yeah, so if you have terrible aim like me, it is helpful to have someone with better aim come with you, or even 2 people with that aim. You'll get there. We're pretty forgiving with the hitboxes, but you can sneak up on these Serenuk for, depending on the tier of your bow and how skilled you are in hunting, they're going to take more than 1 shot, which means you're going to be really running around, and they're very fast and hard to keep up with. So having 2 shots or even more in a hunting party can really help, especially in the early game.
Okay, and I'm guessing that this works similar to insect catching, where anyone who participates in the hunting may get credit and may get the overall loot and resource for hunting, correct?
Correct. As long as you're trying to take that shot, we'll count it.
Awesome. And I see some farming together. Are we gardening together just to get it done faster? Is that the thought here?
Yeah, so you can always join your friend's house at their house and help them do a little bit of gardening by watering their crops or tilling their soil.
But I assume that it's not the same style of shared loot when it comes to harvesting, because you don't want everyone to come and harvest all your crops.
Yeah, this is one instance where you'll get the items yourself. Your friend isn't going to be able to steal your garden crops from you, as funny as that might be with some close friends. So
whoever's plot it is, that's whose harvest it is.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay. Great. Okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing that. Now, what is that menu we just looked at? Is that a little emote menu?
It is, yeah. So this is what you would do exactly to cheer somebody on in fishing, but you can also just do it for fun when you're with your friends.
Celebrating a great harvest with Jay. All right, now that we've harvested, this is the first time we're taking a look at cooking. Tell me how we cook.
Whoa, look at these ingredients.
And, how all of that works.
Yeah, so this is the main feature for using all those gardening crops you're growing. It's a skill that we really wanted to focus on multiplayer gameplay in particular. And so sort of like real world cooking, if you're by yourself, it's gonna be a little chaotic because you're jumping between different stations. You need to chop some veggies, you need to flip the pan. But with a friend, you can combo that up and make it a little bit easier. So we have a number of mini games as part of the cooking activity. This one is the chopping one, but there's also a flipping, a stirring, and a rolling activity.
That's so cool. There's stations.
As players collaborate, as long as, again, you help in making of this dish, you kind of share in on that final dish that's created. And I think
you know what game this reminds me of?
Star quality dishes you'll be able to place on your plot. So we see players often make a beautiful spread on their tables of their cooking activities.
Are there any particular perks or buffs or anything that you would get from a higher star
I can't remember.
meal?
Yeah, so cooking and food basically fill your focus meter, which focus in the game really feeds into all of your progression. So as you do activities in the game and you level up each of your skills, as long as you have focus, we're giving you a benefit or a bonus on that experience earned. So it's definitely beneficial if you want to really push forward in the game to keep your focus meter full and make sure you're consuming food at a regular basis.
I feel like that's a very stress-free take on a traditional survival mechanic within a game like this, where it's not like, I need to eat and drink and sleep and keep all of that running in order to do this. Instead, you're rewarded for having your focus meter full. Is that correct, Ambrielle?
Yeah, absolutely. Just sort of like a lot of things we've talked about, like with gardening, you can really min-max if you want, but you're not going to be punished for not doing the optimal thing. And same with focus. It's really beneficial to have a snack before you go out, just like in real life, but you're going to be fine if you don't.
Just like in real life. I love a good snack before I go out, and in fact, had one today. All right. I've seen some pretty incredible looks today, some really nice fits on our villagers and on our characters. How would I go about increasing my own look and my own vibe check, if you will? Ambrielle, tell us about how we can look our best in Palia.
Yeah, so we're running into Gel's shop right now, which is one of my favorite NPCs.
Oh, pretty!
And we're checking out all of the different options that we have. So we saw at the very beginning when we looked in Character Creator, there's a bunch of different options that are all available to players for free as soon as they start playing. And you can open up your wardrobe, which can be on your housing plot, at the stables, or you can come visit Gel's shop, which is a fun way to do it in town.
Seamstress.
And you can see all of those options that we saw in Character Creation for hair and all of the different outfits and accessories. And then now we're taking a look at some of the premium options. So these are, they get a little bit crazier. We have some fun options to mix and match here. Swap all of the colors so that you can take one piece from one outfit and mix and match it with a bunch of other ones and try to create something that's really unique to you. Yeah, we're running through some of, this is a fan favorite so far for Sixers, and I think probably for players too.
Are those shiny antlers we were just looking at? That's very cool.
Exactly.
That's very cool. Now you mentioned that some of the items are more premium, and we're here at Gel's shop. So what is the currency in the world of Palia? Are we trading for this really cool bug that we just caught, or how does that work?
Yeah, so this shop is the only place right now where you are using real world currency. So this is our premium store. For everything else in the world, you're using gold, which you're getting through insect catching, any of the other skills that you're just gaining normally throughout play.
Is that the mayor's jacket? Can you buy the mayor's jacket?
It is pretty fun to try to get some outfits that maybe match your favorite NPC or someone you're maybe trying to impress. Get something that maybe would appeal to them.
Very nice. And what is this that we're looking at right now? That looks comfy.
Yeah, we have to pause on this one. This is a super comfortable look. This is always what I like to be wearing at my
squirrel
housing plot.
suit.
I have different outfits for every occasion in Palia, and this is the one I would prefer to be wearing in real life too.
Yes, I think next time we all get together in this inn and do this stream, we should all be wearing that.
I don't know, actually.
I'm
not sure.
We have it. And oh my goodness, is that a musical instrument? Maxwell, what is that? Can we play guitar in Palia?
That was the Bard Star outfit, which, yeah, if you really want to live the rock and roll glam lifestyle, that's your outfit for you. Can't play instruments yet.
Okay, yet.
But it's definitely something we could do in the future. We'll see.
I love that. And you know, there's a lot of people who want to live their best Bard life. So I love that we have a look for that. Now, all of the looks that we're seeing right now, are these things players can expect to see during Palia's beta?
Yeah, absolutely. So everything we're looking at now will be available during the beta, as well as probably a couple more options too. And then we're going to be releasing new options all the time. There's already a pretty good breadth of expressions here that you can choose.
Ooh, look at those pants.
What fantasy you want to have in Palia, what kind of player you want to be. And we hope to add to that all the time so that you can always find new expressions for that.
Yeah, some of the looks that we're seeing right now look a little more real world inspired, while some of them do look a little magical and more high fantasy, kind of like the look that we're seeing right now. What is this specific outfit?
Yeah, this is the Soothsayer outfit, and you can see that there's 3 versions of the Soothsayer outfit that all have a very different vibe to them. This one has the twinkling stars on the underside of the bottom, which I love. It's really fun to see while you're gliding. Yeah, this is pretty much the outfit that you'll almost always find me in, or at least some parts of it mix and match with others.
Awesome. Now, does the Soothsayer outfit give you any type of buff or bonus, or are these items strictly cosmetic at this point?
Strictly cosmetic. So we want to make sure that nothing that would hold you back from gameplay is.
Oh, it's Unreal.
So these are, we think expression is a really big part of Palia, and players are going to want to show off the kind of personality they have and change that as often as they want to. So we want to have a lot of options there, but we also want to make sure that there's nothing that's going to block you from gameplay. No bonuses, no pay to win. Yeah.
I feel like in terms of look, from what we've seen of Palia so far, it's very cozy, but there's such a wide variety at the same time. And I want to ask a little bit about what it takes to bring that art style of Palia to life. So can you speak to the efforts of your team a little bit, Ambrielle?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a ton that goes into it and a bunch of super talented developers. It all starts with an idea, obviously, and that comes from a bunch of different inspirations, whether it's from personal taste from individual artists, whether it's from inspiration from different media that we like, different art that we like. The world of Palia, it's a wide world already right now, but it's going to get so much bigger, like we keep talking about. There's a lot that will unveil in the future, and we try to take inspiration from all of those things. As we translate it from a concept to modeling, rigging, getting it into game, animating it.
So much of her personality just in her look. Can we talk about how her signature look came to be?
Absolutely.
That's so cool.
I love looking at these concepts.
Nana?
I think it's really cool when you see a sheet like this and you can instantly get an idea of who the character is. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. You can see even with some of the notes here, like if she actually wore the jacket properly, this is what it would look like, but you will never catch her doing that. She's always having it tied around her waist. So you can really see the sass that comes through, which is really rooted in how the character's narrative is shaped by Olivia's team. And it's sort of input from all disciplines, figuring out how we bring this character to life. Even seeing like some of the small details in how her jacket matches the same fabric as her mom, Esha, who
it's her
she's not
mom.
the biggest fan of outwardly, but there's still some ties there. Yeah.
I think it's wonderful. I'm so glad that we're getting a look at this Kenyatta concept art, because I don't know that I would have picked out right away that that was a blazer that was tied around her waist, but you're right. It says so much about her character that, you know, you can see how her mother would love her to dress, but she's doing her own thing, and I am here for it. All right, let's go back to Maxwell, what you were saying kind of about the game's style overall, and how you were able to pull some real world inspiration, some fantasy inspiration into a look that still feels very cozy and lovely and warm.
Yeah, our art director Jeremy has done a phenomenal job kind of finding this cozy vibe and how we influence every object in the world. And we can see, looking at Kilima's library here, look at the architecture and how we have these like curved edges, you know, soft shapes, pastel colors to soften kind of the mood, try to avoid like hard points that the player could, you know, accidentally brush against and feel pain. So everything is meant to feel like cozy and comfortable.
Yeah, and I assume this design philosophy holds for the interiors as well.
Yeah, it goes through all of our decor objects. So if we look at the bed here in a second, as we try to like take influences of real world objects, or in this case, like what does a fancier, more like aristocratic vibe look like, but still feel cozy at the end of the day. You can see that come through in this, again, trying to smooth things off and got the nice silk bedding on it. Really tries to hit that vibe of coziness.
Yeah, and I mean, you can see from the art style alone the kind of sheen to the fabric, but is that reflected in how one would craft the items then as well? So you need the more premium fabrics to make the more premium furniture?
Yep, as you saw that had silk in it, you're probably gonna have to get some silk in the game to make that bed.
All right, awesome. We have already seen so much, but I am getting the feeling that there's more to Palia than meets the eye.
Absolutely. As much as we've gotten to run through today, it's still just a sliver of all the things out there to experience in Palia. We do have one other really exciting thing that we wanted to show off today, which is looking at our first adventure zone, Bahari Bay.
Cool. Bahari Bay.
Adventure
looks very
zone.
Mysterious.
Where our first zone that we've been looking through, Kilima, compared to this zone, which is meant to be our title for them, our adventure zones, we're really trying to capture this sense of exploration, this kind of greater sense of scale. But this is also functionally where you're going to be doing a lot of the higher end gathering, where you're going to be doing a lot of collaborating with other players, finding so many of those hidden things, those boxes and such that we were talking about earlier. It's just going to be a fun place to explore and a really different vibe from what you get at
Oh yeah, it's been up a little bit.
Just the beginning. Like we're going to be coming out with new adventure zones. We're also going to be revisiting adventure zones you've already seen. So if a door is closed, you may see it open later.
I see. So you may have thought that you explored Bahari Bay and then returned to it later only to find out that a new door is open and there's much more to explore. Oh my goodness, there is so much to take in within this world. For everyone watching, when can players get their hands on Palia?
First off, really important thing, sign up at palia.com. That'll give you a chance to get into our upcoming closed beta, which you can see here. So definitely something big to look forward to. Again, sign up at palia.com.
Awesome. I cannot wait. I'm going to be streaming it. I'm super stoked. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who's watching. Thank you to our wonderful panel that we have here today. It has been such a pleasure being here. So I'd like to close it out with all of you telling us what you are most excited for players to get their hands on Palia. Aiden?
Wow, it's hard to pick just one thing, but after all this time, I just can't wait to see players be in the space, to get to, be playing the game, see the world of Palia filled with life the way we always intended it. So I'm just excited to see you all in Palia as a part of the experience and see how everything speaks to you.
Oh, we are excited too. All right, Olivia, what are you most looking forward to from players in the closed beta?
I can't wait for players to meet the characters that I've been spending the last 3 years getting to know, and our entire development team has been spending the last 3 years getting to know. So I can't wait for everybody to meet the characters.
The cast of characters is so colorful. It's going to be amazing. All right, Maxwell, what excites you the most about players joining into the world of Palia?
Aiden kind of touched on it, but I'm very excited to see how players respond to the game, especially later in the game when they're progressing, and what they do with their houses and how they customize it. Like, we've already seen a ton of creativity in our alphas, and once we open it up to even more players, I expect we're going to see some really cool stuff from them.
And for you, Ambrielle, what are you most excited to see once players finally jump into the world of Palia?
I'm really excited to start seeing players playing together. I think when we have a really active chat going on, there's folks inviting each other over to come cook together, let's go insect catching together, and bringing that kind of social experience back to the game.
I think it's going to be really fun. All right, again, thank you to everyone for being here today. Thank you all for watching. Stick around for an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at our live orchestra recording by Palia's composer, Stefan Schmidt. And we will see you in Palia. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Bye for now. Oh, that's so cool. Wow. Okay, I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Hopefully I get to go into the beta. There's going to be a closed beta and an open beta. Are you guys excited? I'm so excited. We're going to have a Mavicorn squad. So literally everyone has to come play. Literally everybody has to come play. What the heck? Okay, so we just watched the first ever look at Palia, which is a brand new cozy MMO game. So I'm really excited. There's like adventure and all sorts of stuff. So really excited. Hi, Baxi. How are you? Hi, Original. Yes, I'm so excited. And it's really interesting how they're not using a platform to distribute their game. I think that that's going to be for the better, honestly. Well, let's see. Okay, here we go. I think that's going to be for the better for them. You know, it's going to be